Welcome to the Fat Fueled Family Podcast, where every week we talk about things like nutrition, training,
how to live a healthy and active lifestyle with your little ones, peaceful parenting, education,
and of course, mindset.
Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Keto Counterculture, at Fat Fueled Mom, and at Fat Fueled Kids, and search for Fat Fueled Family on YouTube.
To stay up to date with everything we're doing, sign up with your email at www.fatfueled.family and check out our blog for workouts, meal ideas, and all the other cool stuff we love to talk about.
Don't forget to hit subscribe.
All right, here we go. This is our first episode. I'm very excited.
We have a podcast. How excited are you?
Super excited, number one, because we have our own setup, which is amazing. Shout out to Chris Duckett, our editor, who helped us set all this up.
We're super legit. You should see us right now.
Yeah, there's like all types of things happening, like with sounds and stuff. And honestly, I'm terrified that this isn't recording. But you know what? If it doesn't record...
It is. Look at the little
thingies.
Yeah.
So I guess we should do an introduction first, just in case there are people who don't know us, right?
Yeah. So who are we? Who are you? Guys, this is going to be so fun.
Oh my gosh,
this is the funnest.
Seriously, I'm so excited to do this with you. Seriously,
yeah, except for we're going to like literally just be like, kids, leave us alone. I got to go record a podcast.
Yeah, which if you guys know us, we're very real. So there might be some screaming in the background. There might be some pausing going on. I think that we'll just hit this stop button and we'll just hit record again and Chris will just edit it. That's just how we do it.
Or we could just walk away or something. I don't even know, but... It is what it is, guys. You get
Honestly,
what you get.
We may not even press. You get what you get, and you don't get upset.
And you don't get upset. Thanks, May.
All right, so I guess I'll do a little intro on who I am. I'm not going to take really long because I've done this on 50 million different podcasts. But
for the sake of our show.
For the sake of the show, first of all, who I am. I was born and raised in Miami. Always wanted to be. What's your name, bro? My name's Danny Vega. That's true. You're right. I should say my name.
He just like assumes that everybody knows who he is.
Exactly. So I was born in Miami, raised in Miami, played football my whole life. One of the things we wanted to put on the blog, which we didn't because it just didn't make sense, but I wanted to, is a picture of me. It's not me. It's like this thing that I filled out when I was 5 years old. And it says, my favorite food is berries. So it says, my favorite food is, I really like to, when I grow up, and then you fill in the blank of what it is. And so mine says, my favorite food is berries. I really like to color. When I grow up, I want to be a strong man. And, that's just who I've always wanted to be. When I was in after school care, all the other kids were running and playing. I was like doing pull-ups with the guy who took care of me, who was like a bodybuilder. He was like this big bodybuilder. And I played football in high school and college. I got my master's in human performance. I was a college strength and conditioning coach for VCU basketball. Go Rams. And, I've done everything from CrossFit, powerlifting. I've run half marathons, obstacle course races, rowing. Of course, now I'm doing like bodybuilding style training. And in 2016 is when I found keto. And, if you guys know my story, it's pretty much I've never looked back. The biggest things that I'll say is that I had less inflammation, increased control over hunger, and increased productivity. And so I'll let you introduce yourself and then we'll kind of get into why we're doing this.
All right. Well, I'm Maura, Danny's wife, Fat Fueled Mom. Also from Miami, if you can't tell by my amazing accent that will never leave me. No matter what I do, I try to move away, but it just sticks with me.
Yep.
I was a dancer growing up. Pretty much that's all. That's like the only extracurricular I ever cared to do, which led me to a very restrictive diet for many, many years. It was calories in, calories out, and really just restricting in general, chasing the thin body type that I would never have. And that's kind of how I lived my life. My dance teachers assisted me in my eating disorders. That's just the name of the game. Wow, you've lost so much weight. What aren't you eating? Like, this is just how it is. So, so that of course led me to just, really, what is it? Body dysmorphia. That's what they call it. Chasing this body type that I just would never have. But as an adult, when Danny and I got married, and I found paleo and CrossFit, that was like the best thing that ever happened to me because it just made me forget about that like thin persona and just like put a bigger emphasis on being strong. And I fell in love with lifting weights, and we went from paleo to If It Fits Your Macros, which was a horrific experience. Thanks, Danny.
My bad.
During doing If It Fits Your Macros, if you've heard my story, you know, I was suffering from postpartum depression after I had Dean, and the diet really obviously was not helping me. So that led me to keto.
Hold up, at least give me credit, because I brought you to keto too.
Danny brought me to keto, but honestly, I was just waiting for the word.
You were waiting for the fat. You kept saying like, I was waiting
because I had already, since we had already had experience with paleo, I already knew how I felt with paleo. And I remember that feeling of just never feeling hungry, being able to, you know, just having that mental clarity, no crashes, any of that. So it was just, I don't know. It's like cognitive. I don't even know. Like, it's just like knowing you're doing the wrong thing. Like, yeah. Over time, but it was just too hard.
Well, you also love to suffer. You're really good at that. You've practiced suffering for so
suffering
long.
Is just like, I guess I was just used to it. And then you kind of just get addicted to the carbs, so you get scared of leaving them. Honestly, it is an addiction. So, but anyways, the minute Danny said keep, I was like, I'm in. Like, get rid of all this crap in my house immediately. And you know, I also knew that was the only way that I was going to, at the time, be able to get off of the antidepressants, which come with horrific side effects, and they don't even really make you happy. I don't suggest them, really. And then with keto, that led me to carnivore through some GI trouble, which we can get into in another episode dedicated to that. And now I'm just in the gym, like bodybuilding, living my best life, like not suffering and just eating intuitively, not tracking, and just feeling amazing all the time.
So that's pretty much who we are. We're going to get into like a few of the reasons why. This is like a big introduction episode into why we do this and why we're so passionate about this stuff. First of all, the podcast and the blog, the way we see it is we want to be a resource for families who want to live the healthiest life possible. You know, a lot of people are getting healthier, but their kids are not. Their kids are not, and I'll get into a few of the statistics with that. And but we want to be more than just health and wellness. Obviously, we do want to be the leaders with this. We want people to think of us and use us as a resource, and we want to bring more people on board. But
absolutely,
we definitely want to lead this movement of getting families healthy. But we also want to lead this movement of getting people committed to improving their relationships, finding their purpose, and, you know, raising, you know, emotionally intelligent kids who are pursuing virtue, who are not, you know, ignorant, and who are just going to grow up to be happy people. And that at the end of the day, that's how we want to change the world, you know?
Yeah. Like we tell our kids, like, don't be like everyone else. Everyone else sucks.
Actually, today you put on your story, like, you know, the boys are in the back seat and Maura is always giving them the best music. So our boys have really good music taste, and she puts weirdos on the bottom. And in my mind, I'm like,
the best compliment.
That's the best compliment in this house. If you're called a weirdo, it's like, it's a really good thing.
Yeah, I love it. I love my kids' quirks and weird things.
We celebrate them.
Yeah,
so let's get into like the main reasons why we're going to do this, and then we can talk about what we're going to do and what we're going to talk about.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can start with one of the biggest things that doesn't make sense when people tell us, like, because obviously you guys know our kids are keto, keto paleo, you know, but they eat whole real foods. They do not eat a SAD, and it is very sad of a diet.
Yep.
And people say, oh, let them be kids, but can they really be kids? At this point, if you just go to Busch Gardens or Disney or anything, look around. These kids cannot be kids. They are, forget like overweight, like totally obese and very sick. And if they're not obese, if they're skinny, they have an autoimmune disorder. So, I mean, this is not okay. And it's rising. Like, the statistics are getting worse every single year, guys. And this is not acceptable. It's just honestly not acceptable to me. Especially
if it's in our control. And, you know, there's this thing that we call him Abuelo Ron, because he's like our grandfather and we love him. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that Ron Paul says is, you know, they can't unhear what they've just heard. And so, unfortunately, after you hear these things, you will not be able to unhear them. So ignorance cannot be claimed after this. And, you know, it's empowering, but it's not easy. but we definitely want to be one of the people that, walk you along and help you, give you resources with this. So I guess we'll start with obesity. I got some interesting statistics on obesity.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So first of all, obviously this is nothing new. We know more or less that kids are getting unhealthier. A few of the statistics that we have, and I'll put it in the show notes. Childhood obesity. All right. So right now, 18.5% of kids from the age 2 to 19 are obese. So that's more than 12 million kids, which is 1 in 6 kids is obese. All right. And, this has increased steadily since the 70s. There have been some areas where it's gotten a little bit better. There have been programs that overall cannot be judged as successful, but some of these programs that have aimed at, increasing the health of kids have worked a little bit. At the end of the day, it's our responsibility. But this is what kills me, okay? We don't fully agree, obviously, with the whole eat less, move more, but some of these statistics are kind of crazy. So less than half of kids get the recommended 60 minutes of exercise a day.
My gosh.
It's just an hour of exercise, and less than half of kids are getting that. The other thing that I'll qualify, because we're not going to say that this is a bad thing in and of itself, but when you pair what I'm about to say with the sugar that they're consuming and all the other bad lifestyle factors, it's a problem. So almost 2/3 of kids consume sugary beverages every day. But the other one is that 43% of kids spend 3 or more hours a day on machines, whether it's social media, whether it's, their Nintendos and their, I'm dating myself, Nintendos, PlayStation, all the new stuff,
the gadgets.
And we'll talk about this too, because we're
not against them.
Yeah. It's just that when you pair that with sugary drinks, no exercise, and this is all they're doing. All day. And sitting in school all day. All these things, they add up, and I'm gonna leave you guys. My last statistic is the worst one. So we're talking about added sugar now. We're not talking about total sugar, because if you're consuming all your fruits and vegetables and all your natural sugars and your honeys, that's not included in the statistic. So from the age of 1 to 3, the average child is consuming 60 grams of added sugar. From the age of 4 to 8, the average child is consuming 105 grams of sugar. And the winners here, like the real winners, are the 14 to 18-year-olds, which is the most disastrous statistic. They consume about, on average, 170 grams of added sugar a day. And so you're going through all these hormonal changes. You're of course, at this point, it's kind of like an addict with, growing tolerance. You have to have more.
Absolutely.
And you're having this insulin resistance that's building. And so that's one of the main reasons why we really want to help you guys, talk to your kids and do this with your kids from the nutrition standpoint for obesity. So what are the other things? And
so the whole let them be kids and it can't be that bad. It is. And here's why. Okay, they're fat. Cool. But even worse is what it does to your mental health. So this stuff does matter. So by the time your kids, the ones that are getting a little chunky and they have whatever autoimmune disease they have or whatever, well, by the time they get to college, now they're taking 2 to 3 psychiatric drugs. So we are seeing 18-year-olds, first-year college students coming onto campus more and more. It's just a normal thing now. They're taking psychiatric drugs. They're coming in for crisis visits every day with panic attacks, self-injurious behavior, and suicidal ideation. This is a normal thing, guys. This is not okay. And so what does this mean for for our future? This trend is actually global. And these numbers are actually underestimates, because it's really hard to estimate mental disorders, because there's so much that's undiagnosed. There's people just sitting at home, not even going to there's so many undiagnosed people with mental disorders. So here are a few stats for you. There's 322 million people diagnosed with depression worldwide. That's as many people as are in the US. So this is also an 18.4% increase from 2005 to 2015. And this makes it the number one cause of disability worldwide. Number one cause of disability is depression. 800,000 people die every year by suicide. And this makes, and the worst part is that it is now the number 2 cause of death among young people ages 15 to 29. This is the number 2 cause of death. Anxiety disorders, 264 million people have anxiety disorders, 15% increase from 2005 to 2015. 60 million are bipolar and 21 million have schizophrenia. And if you make it to adulthood without killing yourself, literally, you're going to probably have dementia. So there are now 50 million people with dementia, and it is estimated to triple. Yeah, triple by 2050, which is not, I mean, how old will I be by, like, that's, that means like a lot of our friends will have dementia.
65 years old, the average retiree will be.
Yeah. So that's not too far away. To 2050 doesn't seem too far away. And it is now the number 7 cause of death. And there are 10 million new cases every single year. This is horrible, guys. And so if you don't have depression, you probably have an autoimmune disease. So these are also on the rise. MS, rheumatoid arthritis, IBS, type 2 diabetes, celiac is the biggest one that's rising, obviously, because of all the wheat that we eat. Crohn's disease, lupus, like these are things that are increasing rapidly every single year, guys. Like we're killing ourselves off, guys. We got to protest with our money. We do. We have to do it. We have this needs to change.
Yeah. And so now that we've gotten you all sad and stuff, we're going to provide you with hopefully part of the solution, which is this show and our blog. And now we can talk about what we love. So what else are we going to talk about?
We are also going to talk about on our podcast, homeschooling and unschooling. We'll have we have like a list of guests that will like probably take us like 3 years to get through.
That was fun. That was
so fun. Like there's so many people that we want to have on the show. So we're going to have so many awesome guests on this show talking about obviously diet, all types of stuff, unschooling, homeschooling, free range parenting. So we're going to have hopefully one of my favorite people on earth. I'm not even going to tell you who she is because I don't want to jinx it.
Are you kidding me? Hopefully?
Oh, wait until you hear. Oh my gosh, she's just one of the funniest people on planet Earth. Anyways,
she's awesome. Yeah.
We're going to be talking about mindset, of course. Yep. Products that we use, plastics.
Ooh, the plastics.
All the things. So we're going to be talking about basically everything that we do, everything we love, how we've done it, and give you guys some good news and hope for these horrible statistics, and maybe we can make them not come true.
And let me just say something, because you guys know that we are very opinionated and we're very transparent. We don't claim that, with some of these things that are lifestyle choices, like I thought of it when you were talking about the homeschooling. You don't have to do homeschool if you're not able to do homeschool, but you should be taking an active role in your child's life and education. And if you can't afford to homeschool, if you need both parents to work, I understand that.
There are some really great schools out there.
Yeah. And not only that, just like there are people who take an active role in their kids' lives. They see, what are you learning at school? And it's more than just, all right, let's get this homework done because they have to do this homework. And so now we're going to sit down and do homework before we eat dinner, and it's an afterthought. No, we want to take an active role in our kids' education. Yeah.
Just remember how you were when you were in school. Like if you just let the years go by, like your kids are eventually going to stop talking to you and not trust you. So just take an active role, always be there for them. And,
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So again, these first couple of episodes, we estimate that they're going to be probably 20 to 30 minutes because we want to just set the frame, set the tone for what we're going to talk about. We want to introduce you to us, and hopefully, we'll grow the audience so that we can start to talk to these people that we really want to talk to. All of the stuff that we provide, we're going to reference it, of course. We do our research. That's one of the things that helps us with our confidence, is that a lot of this stuff, the homeschooling, the parenting, this has been like an 8-year journey already. Yeah. And we defer to the experts.
It didn't just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It didn't just like wake up one day and be like, yeah, this is my bright idea.
And Maura and I have conversations about this all the time. We're definitely not perfect, and our relationship is not perfect, but We freaking try.
We'll probably fight right now.
This is over. We fought before this. We did. We fought before this. We were talking about like.
I was like, chill, bro, chill.
Yeah, she's like, okay, we're gonna do the intro, and I'm like, all right, let's get some statistics. And you're like, well, I want this to be like natural, and I'm like, I want it to be natural too, but we have to show them how bad the problem is, so people can understand that there's a reason why we're doing this, and we're gonna bicker and stuff and whatever. You people probably like that anyway, so.
It's gonna be great, guys.
I wanted to do this because like you did this.
Oh, I did this on my video. So wait. Okay, go.
Okay. And it's funny because we don't have sponsors or anything. This is literally a friend of ours.
So what you just heard is what?
This is Rise Nitro Cold Brew Coffee, 0 sugar, 0 fat. This is not a sponsor.
BPA free, goodness.
Yeah, BPA free.
Someone has to
By the way, it's more than just BPA free, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
You need to look out for other stuff too, but we need caffeine, and we love this. I love like cold brew is the only coffee I could drink like straight. Because I don't know, the bubbles and the coldness of it, I can't drink regular coffee.
But that nitro, like when you open that can, it's like the most satisfying thing.
And it's a good taste, it's just a really good taste. So
check out Rise Brew Coffee.
Yeah, Rise Brewing Company.
Not sponsored.
Again, not sponsored.
I just love it.
Yeah. So what else? Is there anything else you want to talk about before we stop this first episode and pray that it recorded?
Well, it is recording though, look.
It is, but you never know. You never know.
No, I mean, I think we covered it. What else?
I don't know. The blog is going to be up soon. We have a bunch of stuff that we're going to offer on the blog. I guess we're going
to start making YouTube videos. Most of these, not this one and probably not the first few, but our interviews and stuff will be also available on YouTube. We're going to start doing IGTVs. I mean, you guys need to see this setup.
Yeah, this is
for
like
real.
Really exciting. The stuff
we're
that we got
super
in
excited.
Here.
Yeah, this is what we love, and so we just want to keep sharing our.
Yeah, obviously I'm going to plug us because that's what I do. I'm a salesperson,
Oh, absolutely.
So the blog is of course going to have a bunch of free content. I got a bunch of workouts. Some of your workouts we'll put them on, which I told you already, but not the ones not the glue plan. The glue plan is you got to buy that because that's hard work that you put into that one. But certain workouts we'll offer, and family workouts, a lot of free stuff. But then we'll also have right off the bat we're going to have programs. We're going to have like 12 to 15 different programs for people who are doing keto and want to do exercise stuff. Cause that's what I love is programming. We're going to have a little bit of the apparel and gear stuff because we want people to be like representing Fat Fuel Family and to say like, we're a Fat Fuel family.
Love it. And the logo's perfect.
The logo is awesome. Shout out to my brother-in-law Juan, who
amazing,
loves this stuff, and
he's so good at it.
He is. He's
you just
awesome.
like give him an idea, and he's like, he doesn't even say anything. Yeah. And then he's just like, boom.
Like, let me just tell you guys, we, Ben Pekulski and I are doing this keto muscle building program. That's going to be massive. And we have this idea. And I told Juan, I need you to do this. And he makes this logo. It's the Vitruvian Man.
Oh, so good.
For you guys who know, like Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian Man. But it's like, it could be Ben or I, because we both have beards and we're both big. And it's like us, but the genius lies within the subtlety of the actual logo. Like it's the logo is the same shape as the ketone molecule.
I didn't even, seriously?
Yes. I was like, I looked at the ketone molecule. I sent him a picture. I was like, did you do that on purpose?
And by the way, guys.
Like, yes, I did.
Yeah. And by the way, like if you do watch our YouTube, you'll know which ones Juan edited because they're way better.
They're funnier. Yeah. Like
they're just way better. So he's just so good at it.
He really is good. So yeah, that's basically it. What else is on I mean, there's so much going on. Like I got a book. There's a book coming. What else?
Just like partnership stuff.
Oh yeah. People that we're going to be working with.
The website's going to be super exciting and YouTube. Yeah.
By the time this airs, everything will be out. And we plan on recording several episodes ahead of time, maybe like 10 or so that we give ourselves a buffer because right now we're extremely lucky that kids aren't knocking on our door.
Yeah.
They're not here yet. It's going to be rough,
but we can do it.
We can do it. So
we'll probably be like waking up at 5 a.m. to record episodes or something.
Yeah. That might even not work. We'll see.
4. 3.
So honestly, like seriously, I'm so grateful.
Honestly, guys, I'm so excited.
I know. I can't believe this. You know, the thing with me
this is my favorite, for real. This is my actual favorite thing. Like YouTube, I'm not going to lie. I'm like, ugh, because it's a mission. And if people that do YouTube, they know what I'm talking about.
Matt and Mega are...
Especially when you're getting started, I'm sure once, you know, you're at Matt and Mega's level and you're doing this every day, I'm sure it gets easier. But man, to get started, it's just like you feel like you're climbing Mount Kilimanjaro or something. You're just like, ah.
I know, and it's funny because I'm like, oh, this is not so bad, but I'm not doing the editing.
Yeah, he doesn't like. It's not. But it's not just the editing. Well, we're also changing it up. Like, we're not going to be doing too many vlogging style videos, especially at first. I mean, if it goes really well, then maybe I'll want to invest in the smaller camera. But I ended up buying just the larger camera.
That's my fault again.
It's not really his fault. I looked into it and it's a great camera. It's just a humongous DSLR camera. So traveling and taking that around is just an enormous pain in the butt for me. So, but we're going to be doing a lot of like product reviews and just like topics. So if you guys have any suggestions, we're always open to those.
Yeah. So I guess that's it. This is first episode in the books. I'm gonna hit this stop button. We need to find like a really good outro song. So hopefully we will have found it. Well, we have ideas. We're gonna don't we want to do?
Well, it can't be copyrighted. So
as long as it's not copyrighted, but we have some really cool non-copyright people that we've discovered, and we might just hit you with those so you could ride out to something dope while you're in your car with your kids, so your kids can benefit from good music.
Yeah, this will be a family show.
Yeah, family. You'll see it's under. Like our categories are like health and fitness, self-help because of the whole mindset angle, and then family and children. So thank you all for listening. Thank you so much for trusting us. And of course, please leave a review. That helps us. I'm not sure how it helps us, but I know it does.
Yeah. So if you love it, please leave a review on iTunes.
And make sure to subscribe.
And I think we should do that thing where we like read them, because I think it's really awesome.
Oh, of course we're going to do that. We're going to do that for sure.
So if you leave an awesome review or a bad one, if it's funny, I'll read it.
Yeah, if it's funny, I'll read it. As long as you're not insulting my wife. If you insult my wife, I will find you.
Or my children. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I might actually say something just to expose you for the animal you are.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Thank you so much.
Peace. Bye.